400 miles per hour. Nose up comes Mustang climbs basic fighter maneuver, keep an 8 turnaround. Where he trades altitude for airspeed. Airplane floats over the top. Wheels upright, quickly returns the second pass. Great photo opportunity here, folks. Very few of them on the left. This aircraft had a nickname of the Razorback because it was early and a very rare version of the famous P-51. But also the reason why it has a red tail for longer story. The red tail airplane Tuskegee Airmen were part of an experiment by the U.S. Army Air Corps that was supposed to prove that black men could not fly fighter aircraft. Well, they could, and they did, and by doing so, they started a long process of integration of the U.S. military. Now watch as the Mustang sets up for a big barrel roll. Mustang is smooth and graceful. It has a great sound. The Tuskegee Airmen set out to prove that they could fight and fly. Because of their pursuit of perfection, they earned a reputation. Some fighter groups might run off, chase the enemy. Fighter in search of kills. The Tuskegee Airmen exercised discipline. Stayed with the bombers. They were protected. P-51 was primarily designed as a long-range fighter escort as well as ground. Fighter-to-fighter attack aircraft. Multi-mission fighter. Tuskegee Airmen exercised discipline and stayed with the bombers. They were protecting the bombers was their primary mission. This brave men of the Tuskegee Airmen did that very, very well. I believe Doug's going to do a 4-point hesitation roll when he comes back across now. The point roll demonstrates the precise handling capability of what most regard as one of the greatest fighters of all time. They fly this aircraft to honor great American heroes and to bring their story to audiences all across America. Imagine you were a young black kid in Detroit or Chicago in 1940. You wanted to fly and fight for your country. That was just not possible 60 years ago. The Tuskegee experiment provided the opportunity, and airmen seized it, pursued their dream. In doing so, they changed the world. Commander Air Force fly this aircraft for the least retreat under the highest flight in the birthday where it's flying flat. And there's for just like this. We'll be setting up for an 8-point roll. Watch him as he comes around. See if you can count those 8 moves. I told you the pilot is Doug Rosenthal from Clear Lake, Iowa. Doug has 32 years, over 10,000 hours of flight time and over 150 types of aircraft. He's a flight instructor and FAA designated pilot examiner. Tuskegee Airmen, the P-51, is based with the Minnesota wing of the Commemorative Air Force in St. Paul, Minnesota. The Ringdale project of the Minnesota wing is a dedicated group of volunteers to keep the airplane in tip-top shape. P-51 is the cutting edge of technology in the early 1940s. Keeping it running smoothly and safely requires countless hours of hard work by their volunteer staff. They use this airplane to tell the story of the Tuskegee Airmen, people of all ages across. At the number of Air Force salutes in the name of all wars, and fought so that we can live free. And a special salute to our World War II veterans. You have a grandparent, neighbor, uncle, aunt, served in World War II, and they stayed at home to support the troops. Ask them to share their stories of a time a way of life was threatened. The outcome was very uncertain. That generation sacrificed, persevered, and won. C-130 is 3 minutes out, dropping streamers. I anticipate to be coming in from the northwest like they did earlier this morning.